We'll start with number 1, but within this show your work section for number 1, we'll do 1, 2, and 3 for X, Y, and Z. To first set up, let's say we're going to do X first, but which side over here does X go with? Just based on your eye, you might look and think that X goes with 8, but it actually doesn't. So come over here to the similarity statement, and X is on side KM. So K being the last letter and M being the first letter. So KM is going to go with F is the last letter, and H. So FH. So it actually goes with this side, which you probably would not have guessed. So let's also mark the other two sets of sides for our Y and our Z. So let's look at this side, KJ. KJ are the last two letters of that triangle. So we're looking at EF on the little triangle. And then, of course, the third set will match up as well. So now that they're color-coded, it's a little bit easier to see which ones go together when we set up our similarity statement, our proportion, sorry. So we'll start with X. I like to put the smaller number on the small triangle on the top. So I'll go 11 over X. So it's small triangle over big triangle. And then I need another number from the small triangle. So my other number from the small triangle over here on the left is going to be 8. That's the only other number there. And then over 8, which is in purple, is going to go with 20 in purple. So there's your setup to find X. I'll switch over to find Y here. Y is in green on the small triangle, so we'll put Y with 30. Oops. So Y goes with 30. And then because I set this up the same, so small triangle over big triangle, I can reuse this fraction of 8 over 20. And then I can notice here that my Z is in between green and purple. Come over here between green and purple, and it's 65. So Z, don't do any extra work. I noticed on the homework, a lot of you were trying to solve for Z. In this case, Z is just 65 degrees. The next level 1 and 2 problem is number 4. We'll click into here, but I do want us to notice that it does say that the segments are parallel. So because the segments are parallel, I can mark the sides as parallel, which now means that this line DE is going to cut the two sides into equal fractions. So it kind of already sets my fractions up for me because here is a fraction. So we'll go x minus 4 over 18. And then over here is my second fraction. So equals x minus 5 over 15. For 5 and 6, we'll do the work inside of question number 5. We'll start with finding A first. Again, we have our parallel sides like we did on the last problem. So that again means that this line is splitting the sides into equal fractions. So my fraction would be right here. That's one fraction, A over 7, or 7 over A. Just make sure you match it on both sides. A over 7 is equal to, and then go ahead and put this side on its own fraction, 10 over 8. And there's your setup to find A. Finding X is going to be a little bit different. It does move into that level 2.5 range. So to find X, X does go with 15. I can put those together on one fraction. So X over 15. And I didn't actually solve for A, so I can't use this side here because I don't know it. So I'm going to use X and 10, the small triangle. So X is on the top. So 10 will be on the top of this other triangle. And here's where it differs from the last two problems that we've done. I cannot do 15 over 8. 15 is the entire side of this triangle, so we need to do the entire other side of the triangle. So on the bottom part of this fraction, we actually need to do 10 plus 8, which I know that's just 18. Feel free to just put 18, but I want you to know how we got there. The next couple of problems here do lean into that level 4. Over on the side, it is multiple choice, so you'll be able to tell at the top whether or not your answer is correct pretty much right away. But do look into the problem and kind of think about how it matches up with the questions that you have on your notes. So even if you were to click the first one, it would tell you right here that that is the correct answer. Why is that the correct answer though? That is correct because the parallel lines allow you to mark alternate interior angles congruent. Okay, so the same thing, you're just looking at why the triangles are congruent for the last couple of problems, 7, 8, and 9. On 9, make sure you go ahead and click in here and you check your ratios. So go ahead and set up those fractions and check to make sure that those divide to be the same number. Remember that you're picking one of the triangles, either the left one or the right one, and you're putting the numbers in order from small, medium to large. So when you pick the triangle on the right here, the smaller one, it would go 8, 12, and then 14.4. That just helps us avoid matching up the numbers incorrectly if we just go small, medium, large. And then the same thing over here, just bring these numbers small, medium, and large. Now right there, divide these three fractions. If they all give you the same decimal, you say yes by side, side, side. If they do not, then you say not similar. The last problem down at the bottom does ask you to find a few things for that triangle picture. First one says, finish the similarity statement. So A, E, B would go with, so you're just typing in the 3 letters here. So A is the angle here on the corner, so it would go with C. So the first letter you would type in here is just C, and then type in your other 2 letters. The final question at the bottom is for scale factor for the similar triangles. So this can be written in 2 ways, but you do have to reduce. So you have to pick a number from the smaller triangle or the bigger triangle. So pick a number. So I'm going to pick 6. Okay. And 6 corresponds to the number 12. If you put 6 over 12 into your blank, it will not count. It will not count because it is not reduced. You do have to reduce that fraction in order to get the correct answer. I hope this helps you get through this assignment. Please feel free to message me if there's anything else you have questions on.